I'm Keegan Shivers.
And I'm Nick Shivers.
And this is the Shivers Report, where we give you the most up-to-date real estate information
in the world,
and more specifically in the Pacific Northwest. So talking about headlines, we've seen some headlines in the state of Washington. Policies. They haven't had income tax. Now they do. Just got voted in. And we have talked to some of our friends, some of our clients who live up in Washington where they're leaving because of that policy. What, in your opinion, on some of the policies that have been coming out when it comes to the Pacific Northwest, what does the outlook look like going forward?
Well, I mean, the facts are, I don't care what anybody, we are seeing domestic migration leave. Mm-hmm. Okay. Our tax rates continue to go up, but our affordability, our schools, all keep going down. And so anytime you have taxes going up, but quality going down, then you got to start looking at policies. And small business, especially small business owners and big business, mm-hmm. They are relocating because, remember, states are competing. And how do they compete? With business incentives. I just saw that the mayor of Portland is going to provide $100,000 grants for grocery stores. So he's teaming up with Mondani out in New York about adding grocery stores to solve the problem. Now, my question would be, instead of having to give businesses $100,000 to start a business, it doesn't matter. You could give them $1 million, but if there's nobody going down there because the safety, the concerns, and there's no foot traffic, that doesn't do anything. So I think we do have a problem in the Pacific Northwest. I think if we do not change some of those policies, because they acknowledge we have a problem with affordability in housing.
Yeah.
And we have to get that changed. They've been talking about that for years, and they are not doing anything to solve the problem. Our urban growth boundary, okay? Yes, it makes it beautiful, but it does restrict land use, and that causes home values to go up. Mm-hmm. Even though our domestic migration is out, our supply stays low. So you can't have it both ways. You either want affordable housing or you want this green utopia. Mm-hmm. You have to pick, but don't say that you're going to solve a problem, but you don't ever solve a problem. What you do is you keep funding things that are just Band-Aids on the real problem.
Yeah. And I mean, when you see companies that have been here or Washington forever, Starbucks moving their headquarters, Grants Pass, Dutch Bros moving their headquarters. I mean, companies like that, they don't want to move. They are forced to move at a certain point, and that's because of these policies. And when you start taking those companies and they start going elsewhere, that's a loss. Yeah. That's a loss for the state. That's a loss for the city that those companies are in. Mm. And I mean, we're not seeing those effects specifically from those companies leaving right now, but we will in the future.
Yeah, the mayor of Seattle, I think it was last night, they were talking to her and she goes, I believe that the exodus of millionaires is overstated. And for the ones that are leaving, see you later. So, number one, the mayor of Seattle, how does she know? Because she doesn't run in that circle of businesses. Mm-mm. She was never a business person. So she does, just because you feel something mm-hmm. doesn't mean it's true. You have to look at the real data, and the data says that it is true. That money goes where it's treated best. It's going to Arizona and Idaho. Idaho is on fire right now. Idaho it was massively up. It started going down a little bit, late 22, 23, and now it's skyrocketing again. Why? Because people are leaving Eastern Washington and going there, and people are leaving Oregon and going to Arizona and Idaho.
Yeah. I mean, I have a client right now. We're trying to sell their rural property out in Deer Island right now. They're going up to Idaho, and they're saying, man, what we have in Oregon compared to what we can get in Idaho right now is, I mean, it's firecrackers out there.
Right.
Every property they go out to, it's like man, this is nuts.
Right.
Because especially when you're talking rural property too, that's typically maybe a little bit more leaning conservative.
Yep.
And those people are leaving for places like Idaho, for places like Arizona.
Right.
And so that's a difficult time to be selling a property like that here in Oregon, because you don't have a lot of people moving here for those kind of property unless they're in the state already or from California or Washington. And that's a difficult time. And I mean, just talking about things like just comparisons of the Oregon estate tax kicks in at just $1 million.
$1 million.
Just
Worst in the nation.
Worst in the nation. When the federal threshold is $15 million.
Yep.
What is it in Florida? 20?
The state? Yeah, 20. And then Washington's $3 million. And then I think it's up to, they just brought it down because at one point in time, Washington, it was up to like 35% above 3 million. So Washington and Oregon have the two worst deaths. You can't die here if you have an estate. And remember, but people might be going, but those millionaires. Well, no. Let's say you've owned a home for 25 years. That's $1 million. And if you own other stuff, then guess what? Your kids can't keep the property. If let's say they have to sell the house that they grew up in and they didn't want to. That's just not fair.
Yeah. And I think a great example of this was Mom Donnie's video that he made out in front of, what was it, Ken?
Yeah, the hedge fund guy.
Yeah. About the peer-to-tour, or what was it called? Tour-to-peer, something tax.
Yeah.
Where they're taxing the vacant luxury properties that are sitting out there. And the hedge fund guy goes, well, okay, we'll have a $6 billion development that we're thinking about pulling now. How do you feel about that? And it laid out the amount of jobs that development was going to create between the construction and between the jobs that it would create of the building itself.
Right.
And I don't know if they don't look past the fact of, okay, the now money versus what the effects those taxes could actually have in the long run against the businesses that are bringing the money in.
Yeah, it's not just if a business owner leaves, they take their money with them, and then they take their jobs with them, and they take their taxes with them, all of it. It's not just that greedy person. But and whether they're greedy or not, the reality is it doesn't matter, because if it hurts your state, it hurts your state. Yeah. But we've been ranting about politics right now. But it's affecting real estate in the state of Oregon and Washington.
100%. And I mean, the reason we haven't seen such a decrease in prices is because our lack of supply, because I mean, we got a lot of red tape when it comes to new construction in the state compared to places over in the Sunbelt states in Florida and Texas.
But didn't Resi Club come out with just stat that what is the inventory levels now though?
So the inventory levels, so Oregon and Washington are among only 11 states where active inventory has surpassed pre-pandemic 2019 levels.
Okay, so that's something that is everybody. So 11 states, and we're in Oregon and Washington are one of the two of the 11, where now we have the same amount of inventory as we did in 2019, with lower supply hitting the
increase.
Market. Yeah,
with not a ton of new construction going out
right.
and being built throughout that time. So what does that mean? Has that domestic net migration out caused where, okay, now this inventory is going up, people can't sell their properties for what they're looking to get it for, or what they think they should get it for. And the markets where inventory is crossed back below that 2019 or above it, in those inventory levels, it's seeing softer price growth. And what we're seeing on
price growth.
No price growth or depreciation.
Yeah.
And that's what we're seeing on Resi Terminal. You can look at the statistics on that. A lot of counties throughout the state of Oregon. I haven't looked at Washington as much. But we're seeing year over year down.
Yeah, pretty much every big city in Oregon and Washington is seeing depreciation this year. Like, not factoring inflation, real depreciation. Yeah. So policies matter. Money goes where it's treated best. And when you have a tax base leaving, domestic migration, then you will have problems down the road. And that's why, even with this 9.9 in Washington, they're like, oh, we're undersupplied. And then, of course, the city of Portland, hey, Washington County, Clackamas County, can we get more money from you guys for the homeless situation? Well, when again, your budget keeps going up and the problem gets worse, that's just a hard no. It's not working, so we have to start over.
Thanks for tuning in to the Shivers Report. If you have any questions about real estate in the Pacific Northwest,
We have you covered.